Today I'm going to be giving my big brother a haircut.
I reached out to some of the people that I was planning on following up with. She said I only have 18 windows. I just counted. I think $250 is fair. This is where the real negotiation starts. Get ready for the best live streams you guys have ever witnessed in your whole life.
Alright guys, today I'm going to be giving my big brother a haircut. Let's get it. Wait, is this electric? You don't have to plug this into a wall? What the f? What do you want? Like a 2 on the sides and back or what? Or like, do you want everything, like, do you want the top cut too, or do you size it back? I think it should be size and back, fade. Side and back fade? Good shit. Let's get it. Alright, so I'm going to be starting with a 4 because I think Adam's hair is a 4 all around. So just to play it safe, you want to figure out what length his hair is. So I'm going to start with the highest guard, which is a 4. There we go, boys. Alright, let's get her done. Oh, yeah. This better look so fire, bro. I'm going to give you what I would get, okay? This is what I'm thinking. So we high fade on the sides, down like this, and it turns into a V at the bottom, but you'll still be able to see hair, you know what I'm saying? Just be a little bit longer in the back, it's going to be kind of like a mullet, and then when you grow it out, it'll look dope. All right, guys, I forgot to hit record, but I started with a 4, went on the side, then I just did a 3, and now I'm about to do a 2. I'm too good, bro. And now to finish it off, I can actually give you a lineup now. He's f***ing with it. So I'm about to do the same thing I did that side to this side. And then I can show you guys the close-up. Let's get her done. Quick cut. After he takes a shower, you'll be able to notice it a lot more. All done.
All right, guys, I just ordered our second batch of business cards because we ran out, okay? First batch of business cards we bought, we only got 50 of them, and they ran out super quick. And we noticed that after we serviced a client, they would always ask, hey, do you have business cards? I want to post you guys on our Nextdoor app, or, you know, I want to send you guys to some of my family members, something like that. So you always want to make sure you have business cards, or you have some type of, you know, a link tree that you can give them, a QR code, something, right? So we went with business cards. We just ordered the second batch. I'm pulling it up right now. You guys can take a look at it. I showed you guys the first batch of business cards we had. I showed you guys the first batch of business cards we got. And since then, we changed the email because that was one of my personal emails. We made an actual, you know, email for the business. So we put that on there. Made a few tweaks, put a QR code. Here it is. There it is. There's the front. There's the back. Very simple. You don't want to make your business cards, like, you don't want to put too much words on it. You don't want to make it confusing. You want to make it very simple so that way they know what to do. We did that, and then I also made our second batch of EDDM postcards. I'm not going to show you guys that yet because we're not going to purchase it yet. We haven't purchased it. We still have our initial batch of EDDM postcards that we haven't dropped them all off yet. So we're going to finish these out, and then we'll buy the second batch, and I'll show you guys. Something else I was doing today was so we have a CRM, a free CRM that we made ourselves just using Google Sheets. So I reached out to some of the people that I was planning on following up with. I'll show it on the screen. So this client I'm going to be talking about right now, in one of my previous videos, I think it's titled Best Client Ever. That client's name was Charlie. This is his daughter. Okay, so he had told us, yeah, she's been wanting to get her windows cleaned, but she hasn't really, put her foot on the gas. So I reached out to her and I said, hey Trisha, when were you wanting to get your windows cleaned? She said next Thursday. So I was like, ooh, perfect. I said, that works. What's your address? She sent her address. Then I asked her what services she wanted. So I said, were you wanting interior, exterior, and screens cleaned? And then I gave her a list of some of the things that we offered just in case she wanted that. So I could upsell her right there before I actually drive down to Dallas next Thursday. We'll get more into that. Then she said probably just the exterior and interior windows. I said, sounds good. And then I kind of went through my pitch. So this pitch that I'm using is very similar to a face-to-face pitch. Only thing different being is it's over text. So you have to be very careful with what you say, especially with clients who are going to negotiate like this one did. So I said, sounds good. Normally it would be $450 with the transportation fee, but we have done many of the Patels, which is just like Charlie Patel, a client, that's their last name. We've done a lot of the Patel family. So I said, you're looking at $350. Does any time between 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. work for you next Thursday? I gave her the price, and then after giving her the price, I immediately went into, when do you want to set this up? That was my first tactic I used. It did not work out well. She said $350. My dad, Charlie, said it would be $250. My house is much smaller than his, and it has less windows, which is very true. I said, yes, but Charlie lives very close to us, and you live 40 minutes away, not including traffic. I see where you're coming from, though, and I'm willing to work around that transportation fee. How does $300 sound? So basically, my initial asking price, the price that I wanted initially was $300. Okay, that's the one I wanted. So I told her $350. Always go above your asking price, always. Okay, because if they say yes to above your asking price, even better. If they say it's a little steep, you can bring it down and it makes it seem like you're actually working with them there. She said, I only have 18 windows. I just counted. I think $250 is fair. So this is where the real negotiation starts. And I'm better at negotiating in person, but over text, it's a lot harder. So this was really lucky. Okay. Usually you don't negotiate this much over text. But anyways, I said, you were just like your father and I love it, right? Kind of breaking the ice there, making it less of a business interaction and more of like a friendly interaction, right? And then I said 40-minute drive with no traffic, and we were headed into Dallas where all the traffic will be. So it kind of sounds like I'm complaining to her, but all I'm doing is trying to make her realize that, I'm human too, and I'm gonna have to drive there. So I want her to kind of realize, okay, he is gonna be driving here. I've seen the work he does. He obviously does a really good job, etc. So I said 40-minute drive with no traffic, and we were headed into Dallas where all the traffic will be. How about we throw in your solar panels and deep scrub those for you at the price of $300? So I'm keeping that same price of $300, and I begin adding on services. Okay, if your price that you want is $300, stay solid, plant your feet there at that price. Do not go any lower. Okay, just start adding on services. Cleaning solar panels is super easy. You hop on a ladder, you scrub the solar panel. And then she said, I don't need my solar panels cleaned. I understand that we are further, and I understand if you don't want to drive to Dallas. So the tactic she's using here is like, okay, well then I just won't get my windows cleaned, okay? If you're not gonna do my price, then I'm just not gonna get my windows cleaned. So that's the tactic she was trying to use there. How I kind of rebutted that was, I have no problem with the drive, okay? It was very direct. I just told her, I have no problem with the drive. We have had many clients down in Dallas, and we have charged $300 for a one-story home, exterior only. We are giving you an incredible deal already. And then right after I said that, she said, okay, $300 is fine, thanks. When I said this, I have no problem with the drive. So her main thing was, well, if you don't want to drive there, then you don't have to come. I don't really care. I don't need my windows cleaned. So I said, you want to be direct. Don't overthink it. I said, well, I have no problem with the drive. Immediately gets rid of that objection. I have no problem with the drive. And then I give her, it's not really like a review, but it's like letting her know, yeah, we've been down to Dallas and we're charging way less than we usually do because of who you are, right? So it makes her feel a little bit special there. And then we call it $300. And I mean, even $300 for interior, exterior of the home, you guys haven't seen the home, but trust me, it's a very fair price, okay? We're getting paid and she's gonna get an amazing service done for a very low price, okay? And yeah, I just wanted to go over that with you guys because I think it's very important. Negotiation is, you're always going to be negotiating. Whenever you come into a field like this, that you want to start a service business, door-to-door sales, you're going to have so much negotiations, okay? This is a rare time when you're going to have, you know, a negotiation over text message. They tend to get very hard, and the closing rate over text is very low, okay? You're way more likely to close in person than over text and over phone calls, okay? All right, guys, so 2 videos ago, I mentioned that I wanted to start live streaming. I wasn't just talking out of my right? I wasn't just throwing that up in the air. That's actually something I've been thinking about. Just because, you know, I think being a streamer would be really cool. So why not start, you know? I don't like to think about things. I'd rather just try it out, see if it works. If it doesn't work, you know, I'll just stop. I just won't do it. If I don't end up liking it, I'll just stop doing it. There's no harm in trying out things, guys. Stop waiting. Stop procrastinating doing things. Life is way too short to procrastinate anything, and especially with live streaming. You're basically putting your whole life. There's no cuts. You can't cut. Like, I cut so much stuff in these videos because I tend to stutter a lot. I tend to be like, I don't know. I tell myself it's because my mind is, you know, my mind's super quick and my mind is so fast that I stutter. But really, it's a problem I have. I stutter, and I'm trying to get over that. So live streaming is something that I think could help with that. So I figured, why not buy some things for live streaming? So I'm walking over to the package concierge right now because it said something came in the mail. I don't know what it is because we ordered a bunch of stuff, and we placed different orders at different times. So I don't know what this is. We're about to find out together. Let's see. Let's get it. All right, guys, before I open these spectacular packages, I want to show you guys something extremely important, okay? So if you have any notebooks or if you want to take notes on this, this is going to be extremely important, okay? Now, let's open up these packages. What is this? It's a sticker. The heck is this? Oh, okay. This package is just a bunch of different tools that we got, a bunch of extras just in case they break, etc. Yeah, we bought like 5 each just to keep as backups. That is the first package. Let's go into the second package. Guys, if you're not opening packages with a samurai sword, what are you doing? Type shit. They call me Mr. Samurai, just in case you guys didn't know. Keep that there. Number 1, we got our simple green outdoor cleaner. So this is basically, you put this in your pressure washer and you'll be able to clean a lot more stuff like cement, etc. This is like, we got like the all-in-one, so you can really do whatever you want with this one. Now for the next one, we have just a Brita. This is just for our water. We like to drink filtered water and whatnot. Not important. Then we got this. Mom, I wanted to hear your story. So Oni-chan, Jacob, my big brother, he bought this for my mother. I actually saw this on TikTok and I was like, oh, that's pretty nice. I want to buy it for Mom. And then Jacob comes over. He's like, yeah, I already bought it. Anyway, now lastly, what you guys all have been waiting for, live streaming. So I already bought everything. I have the selfie stick. I have the iPhone with 4K, 38, FPS, whatever, however you say it. I already have that stuff. I have the mic. I have all that good stuff. And now I'm set because I have portable chargers. This is so important because my phone just runs out of battery and I'm not even live streaming. Like just taking videos like this, my phone, constantly just runs out of battery and then I have to charge it. This is gonna be so perfect. So get ready for a live streaming video. I don't know when I'll do it, but just know when I do it, I'll post it on all my social medias. My Instagram is Noah Ahmed Mir. It's NOAHMEDMIR. That's my Instagram. I'll post a story when my first live stream is gonna be. My Snapchat is just noah.mir. Okay, that's my Snapchat. I'll post it on there as well. And yeah, get ready for the best live streams you guys have ever witnessed in your whole life.
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.